Special education isn't about labels or programs or paperwork. It's about seeing a child clearly. Today, friends, I'm catching up with my very intelligent sister-in-law, Marjorie Hunsai Alvaro. I'll just call her Buding or Ding, okay? Welcome to my podcast, Ding.
Thank you, Jong. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm excited to be here.
So, before we will start, can you briefly introduce yourself, some highlights of your life's journey?
Ooh, okay. I'm Portia Marjorie Alvaro. I can go with Portia or Marge or Marjorie, and my nickname is actually Buding. So you can call me any which way you want. Um, I'm a mother of 4 children. I'm married to Jong's brother Levi, his older brother, and we have 4 children: Ralph, Levi Jr., Lex Polive, and John Lee. And I'm also a special education teacher, and my hobbies are photography. I like singing, playing my guitar, karaoke, hiking. So I'm into many things.
All right. Thank you so much for that brief introduction, Ding. I have with me my go there first,
That's
your mom, okay?
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. Explain to us what an inclusion and belonging means in terms of the concept in one of the concept in special education.
Inclusion is when we include a child with disability in a general education classroom. Before, kids with disabilities would usually be put in a different setting outside of a school setting. They have their own school, but inclusion is including them within a regular school.
Okay.
But it also means also now is, yes, they may be in the same school, but they're included in the general ed classroom. I mean, they're sometimes, they have their own class, for example, a class for children with autism, but having them be included in some of the general ed classes.
Okay. So, uh, in your experience, since you got here in the US, right? How long did you been a teacher or been a professional for special education?
I've been a teacher since 2002,
So that's roughly like
almost 24 years.
24 years. So
Yes.
you are about to
Yes.
retire.
I hope so. That's my
Yeah.
hope. Yes.
Okay. So relate to us some probably like a shocking when you were new then, discussing about or having this concept in practice, inclusion and belonging.
Yes, I was very surprised how very well organized and well funded it is here,
Mhm.
and how it starts from technically from age 3 all the way to 21.
Mhm.
So, and I like how the idea of having them start very early. So I started as a preschool, as teacher for preschool kids with disability. We called it a PPCD.
Mhm.
And so we started with the 3-year-olds all the way to the 5-year-olds.
Mhm.
And but my very first class for it was for the 3-year-old children with disabilities. And they range from some kids had Down syndrome, some had autism, and just at that time they included also in the self-contained classrooms kids with speech impairment.
Mhm.
I had never had like a real job before. I've always been in the home. So the
Yes.
shocking part
Yeah.
was just having even a full-time job.
Mhm. Yeah. Now I get it. My
Okay.
question is, how did you get into this special ed when I believe you graduated at Ateneo de Davao University with a degree in English, right?
Yes.
So tell us about that. I mean,
Yes.
your journey in the United States for special education.
Well, first and foremost, it was because we have a son, our third son, Lex Poliv. He has autism.
Okay.
And in the Davao City at that time, the education for children with disabilities was very limited. And so we were thinking if we could come here to the United States, then Poliv will have more opportunities to have an education. And so when we had the opportunity in, I think it was 2001, um, somebody invited us to an autism workshop at Judavine Center for Autism in Missouri, and Poliv and I, or I call him Po, we had a training on how to help our son with autism, and so they taught us how to communicate, how to advocate for him in the school system, how to find the resources to help him. So it was a great training, and that got me very interested in becoming a special education teacher. And so with our brother, Lex Jeffrey, he was in Houston at that time. He was telling me of a program for, how they called it, the alternative
Mhm,
certification program to be a teacher. And he
mhm.
said, "Hey, Dean, why don't you try to become a special education teacher so that you can stay here and co-live and bring the rest of your family here, and then you can go through the program and become a special ed teacher." So that was the beginning of it. And that's how I got interested. It's also because I learned so much from Judavine Center for Autism, and I wanted to learn more. And it got me interested in becoming a teacher. So I
Okay.
can help other kids with autism, but more so with helping Poliv.
Now let's go to um, your profession as a teacher. Could you tell us like like the difference, no, that you make while working with the special children, or the actual practice of being a teacher now?
I think what the one of the biggest difference that I have made is just helping the kids to have confidence, because when a child has a disability, they feel they have very low self-esteem, and at times they don't feel accepted. So especially now that I'm working with kids with learning disabilities for the most part, and I noticed that a lot of their struggles is actually just confidence. How they always feel like, oh, I, I'm working with a special ed teacher. I must not be smart. So I'm just helping
Mhm.
them. Hey, no, you're just learn a different way, and we just need to find out how we can tap into the way you're learning. So it's really a lot more about helping them to have confidence that they can do something. We just need to find a way for them to learn. Because
Okay.
most of them have struggles with reading and math and writing. So those are the students that I'm helping now.
Okay.
And I know, I mean, yes, it's a lot about I teach them reading, but I think first and foremost is just really building their confidence and their self-esteem. And I think I've done that. I do that by trying to learn what they're interested in, and I always try to relate it to the things that they're interested in. Like for example, if they like sports, I would use books that would be, talking about sports. Or if they're interested in music, then I'll use karaoke, even like we would sing
Yeah.
together so that they can read the words off of the screen, and that helps them build their confidence not only in reading but even in performing.
Yeah, that's quite very creative. Uh, you told me that you've been in that profession for more than 20 years. Can you tell us more on the idea of overcoming stigma on, you know, relate to our, maybe probably you can relate to us some of your parents' experience in terms of having some cultural stigma with having a child like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of the challenges for the parents is actually just accepting the disability of their child.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know if you call that stigma, but it's just accepting that they're not going to be the same as other children, that they will have difficulties. And sometimes that's very, very hard to the parents. And
Okay.
even, I mean, I've even experienced it myself that
Mhm.
because when we discovered that Olive had autism, it was the end of a dream.
Mhm.
It's like you have a dream of how your children are going to be. Like, for example, they'll finish high school, they'll finish college, or they go into a profession. But when you find out that your child has a very severe disability,
Mhm.
those dreams end. Sorry, I get emotional about this, but that's
Yeah.
really, it's like a grieving process to even
Mhm.
accept that. And that's very hard as a parent to accept
Yes.
that that it's an end of a dream for that son, and that you'll have to find different ways and means to, I mean, to find a different dream for that child.
Mhm. So, pardon me if I use a word that is not so clear to me, but
Yeah,
this is what I get from Copilot. I mean, not Google, but Copilot.
yeah. But I think, I don't know, I don't think of it as stigma. I think of it
Yeah.
more of as the challenges of having one.
Yes.
Or
Okay.
even the challenge of people looking at you when your son is having a
Yes. Yes.
meltdown
Yes.
in the grocery store,
Mhm.
and they're looking at you and they're like, "Hey, what are you going to do?" And it's very hard.
Yes.
Had many instances where I'm at the grocery store and Post starts crying and people are
Mhm.
looking at you, and then now you have to be very careful of how you deal with your child and how you're going to talk to them. And yeah, it's hard. It's a hard thing to navigate, really. And
Mhm.
that's why most parents, have a hard time accepting it.
Okay. All right. So for my final question, Ding, let's talk about celebrating diverse abilities on our special children. Uh, how do we celebrate the diverse ability of our, like individual children? Not necessarily when they are in the spectrum or outside the spectrum. Just the idea of celebrating each child.
Yes. So I mean, to me, whether they have disabilities or not, each child is worth in the sight of God. That they're special. So there's always something that they can do. We cannot just because, you see them with their disabilities, that they won't be able to do this or they won't be able to do that. There's always something that they can do. And I've always tried to do that with my students.
Okay.
Like, for example, when I was a teacher for a life skills class at Patterson Elementary, um, I taught the kids to sing. I would have my guitar and we would sing together. And I've
Mhm.
even asked the other teachers, "Hey, can my kids perform for you?" And nobody thought that a group of kids with autism or with cerebral palsy would be able to perform, but they did. They
Mhm.
sang songs. I accompanied them with my guitar, and they actually were on stage, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, they can sing! They can
Mhm.
do this!" And even beyond what the other students,
Yes, yeah.
and that's how one way to celebrate
Mhm.
to celebrate them, because or a lot of them have a interest in art and they're very
Mhm.
good at drawing, and so you can celebrate that. You can post that on the wall, what they
Mhm.
can,
Yes, yes.
or just not being ashamed, of having
Mhm.
a child with disability, and just accepting their disability. That's that's one way of celebrating them. and always including them in our activities or family events, or bringing them, traveling with them,
Yes.
bringing them to different places. So
Mhm.
that's
I-
one way to celebrate their diversity, I guess.
yes. In the look of your uh, explanation on the celebration of the abilities of our children, it's more like a normal kid, right? I mean, it seems like there's no difference between having a child with disabilities and a normal child, because after all, just like what you have said, they are all children of God, and they can go anywhere, they can play anywhere, they can, express themselves through arts, through music, or to whatever it is. So in our final minute or two, can you tell us your platform or your idea of making some blog or any social media awareness, maybe program you're thinking about? Can you tell us more about that?
I'm actually thinking of beginning a podcast, and
Hmm.
and I've already done some episodes, but I've never presented them to people.
Hmm.
But now I think it's a great time. We have the technology and we have some time to do it. And one of those topics would be talking about, you know, um, special education, just because I'm a
Hmm.
special ed teacher and um, I do have some expertise on that field, having 25 years, almost 25 years of experience, and also having a son with autism. So I feel like I have a lot to share about that topic. But not only that topic, I can talk about family topics, faith journeys, and also I like just to talk with my friends, talking about things that matter most to us. And also I just like to talk about fun things like thrift shopping.
All right.
I like thrifting, and
Yeah.
that's one topic I can talk about for hours or even days, just
Yes.
finding where the bargains are. And I think you know something about that too.
Yeah. Thank
Just
you.
a lot of fun stuff to talk about, or even talk about photography or my hobbies.
Yes. You could probably integrate all those fun things that you are doing into one, holistic
Yeah.
approach in your podcast. So good luck to your podcast. I'll be subscribing soon.
Thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed this. And good luck on your podcast. And I know that you're building your base, and I hope for great things for you.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.